Call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so the first item up on our agenda is to consider a proclamation recognizing our library staff and volunteers for National Library Week, which is April 19th to the 25th in Horsham, PA. And I'm going to turn it over to our resident council librarian.
Is there anything we need to say before reading the proclamation?
I'll probably repeat a lot on there. I just wanted to, Regina Vesley, our library director, is here this evening, and the amazing work that our librarians do and our staff does at our library. Our library was opened in 2004. It seems like yesterday. And we got that through a referendum through the community. The voters approved the library to be constructed and to have a library tax to maintain the library. And it's become our hub. It's really become our community hub of all ages. I think story time starts at 6 months. No? Younger. Oh gosh. And senior citizens. So they have a whole level of senior citizen programming. They have the teenagers in there. They have young adults. They have every age category you can think of. And they just keep, and you'll find out all this again on the 13th, but they have all these very creative ideas of you can rent power tools there. You can sign off. They have free museum passes. It's amazing what our library has to offer of all ages. And they are busy every day of the week, 6 days a week, and they have the tax service down there now. You don't have to be a senior citizen, free of charge. These people and these accountants will help. People do their taxes free of charge. So their programs, their events, their services, it's just amazing what they keep coming up with. Their creativity for programs. If you're not signed up, if you're not a library card member, there's a couple people here. Go get your library cards. It's just amazing what they do, and we really appreciate them. We thank them for what they do, that's. I'll turn it back to our librarian on council.
And I don't want to belabor the point, but even beyond the library walls, access to digital resources, ebooks, audiobooks, different databases, our library really does the best job in the county, in my opinion. And I am biased, and that's okay. But it is my honor to share the proclamation honoring National Library Week. Be it proclaimed, whereas today's libraries are more about what they can do with and for their communities, and not just about what they have on the shelves. They have long served as trusted institutions, often the heart of their cities, towns, schools, and academic campuses, and whereas libraries serve people of all ages, interests, and backgrounds, providing the resources and space to engage in lifelong learning, as well as equipment and professional staff support to utilize technology, programs, and services, often free or with nominal charges to users. And whereas we recognize librarians as information professionals who provide expertise, services, and guidance for patrons to access credible sources and material, making their own informed decisions about the world today. And whereas librarians provide access to and display a wide range of information, not just a majority opinion or single perspective, and hold the professional values of diversity, equity, and inclusion to meet the needs of all users. And whereas America is celebrating National Library Week, April 19th through April 25th, National Library Workers Day, April 21st, April 22nd as National Outreach Day, showing library services are not limited to their physical location, and April 23rd as Take Action for Libraries Day, encouraging community support for libraries.
So thank you.
We're going to do a picture. I don't know, Regina, if you want to say anything.
Whoops, I don't know if you want to say anything, Regina? My mic wasn't on.
And she's going to make you go to a microphone if you are.
It's,
I just want to thank the entire our community is so supportive of our library. I've been here almost 10 years now, and it's just been solid support between residents, elected officials, across the board. We've always had a strong community support. I think that's the most important thing in a public library. So we've been very lucky with that. So thank you guys for recognizing what we do. Yeah.
all right, Regina, come up for a picture.
Okay, the next item up is opportunity for questions or comments from the public. Please come to the mic, state your name.
Hi, good evening. My name is Pete Tauber. I live at 1037 Balmoral Way. I'm sorry. My name is Pete Tauber. I'm at 1037 Balmoral Way, which is immediately behind the Lasso Rappo's restaurant. I'm here today to ask for your help in a major noise issue that is stemming from the Los Rappo's restaurant. He has his kitchen vents sitting on the back side of the building, and they're up against the roof line, which is below the roof line. So all the noise comes literally right to the back of the neighborhood behind the property. Doesn't have any way to move outside or around anywhere. It goes directly to the back, which is literally my house along with several other neighbors. Since the fall of last year, and it was coming to the end where it was getting colder, so I didn't really care about it too much, but now that it's warmer outside, it's a major issue. It's affecting my lifestyle. I'm not able to go outside anymore on my patio in the backyard. I can't open my back doors, and I can't open my windows because the noise comes into the house and it affects, I can't even sit outside. It's really bad. So what I've done so far, I've reached out to Mr. Spino, the owner of the property, on two separate occasions via email. He was very responsive on those emails, but that was the extent of it, unfortunately. I've also went to the township, right to that counter right there, on March 11th, which is about a month ago, and I filed a complaint. And it's been a month. I have yet to receive a phone call, an email, a message, or someone stopping by telling me that something is happening or we're looking into it. I've gotten zero response from the township. So I'm here tonight to formally ask you to look into this matter and see what can be done about this noise. I have a letter here with my complaint. I have multiple neighbors that have signed off on it as well. They're also being affected by this noise, and I could really use your help in this matter. I would like to share with you the noise so that you're aware of what I'm dealing with here. It would be nice if it would work. That's all day long, all day long, probably from 9 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, Tuesday through Sunday, every single day, with the exception of Monday. But this past Monday, he, for whatever reason, was open in the evening hours and had that running as well. So, again, I can sit in my living room with the doors closed, the windows closed, and I'm in my living room and I can hear that permeate through my walls. You may go to the building and you may say, oh, it doesn't sound so bad, but I invite you to come to my neighborhood because, again, the noise is coming, it's like I'm sitting on a roof, is what it comes down to. It's really, really bad. So I could really use your help. Thank you.
Did you also send an email to, or was that another neighbor?
That was another neighbor.
Okay.
Who's being affected by
Patrick?
this? Yes, he's my neighbor.
So I saw that, I wasn't copied on that email, but the members of council were, and they forwarded to me. So I did speak with one of our code officers today who went up to the restaurant, and the restaurant manager or owner who he talked to, Chris, I'm not sure who Chris is, but did admit that one of the fans is malfunctioning. and that he has parts on order.
Okay.
And that he's waiting for the parts to come in to get the fan. So it's believed that once the parts and the fan is fixed, that noise hopefully will stop.
Okay.
So I don't know, I'll follow up with code tomorrow. I don't know why no one got back to you. But I just saw it for the first time when council members sent it to me.
Got it. The other issue, and this is minor in comparison to that noise, but, I'm sitting outside. I shouldn't have to hear his radio that's on his deck either. But, I can understand it because, again, the noise has nowhere to go other than to my backyard. Like, there's nothing stopping it other than the building that, you've got the building and then you got the deck. And so the noise obviously is not going to go inside the building. It's going to come to my property along with my neighbors. So at night, I can sit there and I can listen to the radio going. It's minor, but it's every night and it's all day long. So, but it's I can still hear it. Now, I don't know whether, the code has anything that you can do about that as well. That'd be fantastic. But, I can hear the people. I don't really care about the people because it's part of his business. I get it. He's got to make a living. But I shouldn't have to listen to the radio all day long either. So that's the second part to it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate your help.
And we've actually heard from people about other noise issues in the community, and we're working on drafting a noise ordinance. That would be time limited, so it's not as if it's going to stop all noise coming from the property during the daytime, but would put a limit to the hours, I believe, in the evening, or the decibel level that you would be hearing off the site of the property. So I don't want to speak to those specifics yet, but just to know that that is in the works, it's in development right now.
Perfect.
And I just wanted to thank you for sharing the video that demonstrated the noise level. It's helpful to understand it. And you said that it started in the fall, so you hadn't noticed it prior to that?
I didn't hear the noise up
Like the
until
noise of the
fall.
fan, I mean?
Yeah, the fan didn't really kick in until like the fall of last year.
Okay,
But
'cause
yeah, it started getting
I'm-
colder and it didn't.
Sure,
I'm not
sure.
outside
But I'm
anymore,
likewise hoping that it's the faulty fan that's malfunctioning
Sure.
and that there is a remedy to it and not
Sure.
just an ongoing issue.
Yeah.
My other question, I guess, would be about like the sound baffling that we've heard from other businesses, if there's anything. And again, I think it's kind of an if-then. If this doesn't fix that and there's an ongoing issue, then looking into other mitigation efforts.
Well, the other mitigation for me, I'm not an engineer, but would be, because if you look around at other restaurants that have these vents, which they all do, there's usually a wall in front of it, right? A big wall with some kind of noise barrier in between that and the noise machine, right? And they don't have that. It literally is just completely open. It comes right to the neighborhood behind it.
Sure.
So, when we decide that township decides to develop everything else from here all the way down, and you put everything else in here, and we have a whole lot more noise, I'm hoping that this would be one of those pieces that would be added to any kind of,
It has to be in
future
consideration.
customizations to the building,
Absolutely,
so.
absolutely. Thank you so much for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
My name is David Atkins. I'm from Holly Drive, off near the Hallowell School. I noticed in the plan for the extension of Norristown Road that it is going to line up directly with Maple Avenue, right, near the Hallowell School. And I was wondering if there's any possibility that we could get a sign there to restrict truck traffic through that neighborhood, because that road's going to come there and trucks are going to think, well, we can cut through to County Line Road and make it easier for them. I understand it would be easier for them, but we really don't need the truck traffic there with all the kids. Okay. I
Yeah,
don't
we
know
are,
what's-
that's in engineering design stages, then what we call the Norristown Road Extension. And that project is split into 4 phases. Phase 1 is Maple Avenue. Not only are they looking at truck traffic as they design and engineer, but how do we, sort of discourage cars? We don't want to increase the traffic on Maple Avenue.
Right.
So, of course, it will be, but we want to reduce that increase as much as possible. So Phase 1 is Maple Avenue from 611 to County Line Road. So that will be the first phase that's handled and dealt with. Phase 2 will be Norristown Road Extension. Phase 3 will be a pedestrian bridge that goes over 611. And then Phase 4 will be a pedestrian bridge that goes over Horsham Road. But everything will have public open houses. So we will be, when the time comes, when the engineers and the design get to a certain point, we'll be having an open house and inviting all the neighborhoods along Maple Avenue to come to it. We'll probably have to have a couple because there's no place in Horsham that can hold that many people that I think that will be interested in coming.
Okay.
But it'll all be public hearings. We want to get public feedback, public comment, before any final design is done.
Okay. The second question I have is, I belong to a local bicycle club, Suburban Cyclists. I apologize
Yeah.
for my phone. I don't know how to shut it off. But in any case, we've recently, I belong in the slow group. We ride out of the library, ironically, okay, and we go, generally when we're heading that way, this time of year, we're slow, so we use Davis Grove Drive in order to climb up the hill, and then we turn into Waterside Boulevard to cut across to either the cemetery or to Limekiln Pike. Recently, we discovered there was a multi-use trail there. So we were on the multi-use trail. Woman jumps out and says, "You can't be here. This is a private community." Okay. So, okay, we said it's on the maps. We're allowed to use the trail, and we went on our way. Well, the other morning, this was just yesterday, or yesterday morning, we were on the main boulevard, which we use, like I said, because we don't climb as well. We were going through the community, and I was trailing behind because I'm slow, but the gentleman in the front, a car pulled up and stopped and said something out the window, which I couldn't hear. I just assumed it was somebody asking for directions. That happens a lot when we're out. No, he told me later that it was somebody saying, "This is a private community, you can't ride your bike through here." So I'm wondering, what is a private community? Do they have the right to stop us from going through a road? And if that's the case, I mean, can we do it for my neighborhood?
No, the answer is yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, that is a private community. They have a right to tell you not to come through there. It's not a public trail. It's not a public road. That is a privately owned community. Once the last few homes get built, which they expect will be in the next 6 to 12 months, they sold all the lots now. They just have to build the homes. They will be putting gates up and signage up and so it's very similar to most age-qualified, age-restricted communities in this area, that they're all private. They're not public, and they do have a right to tell anyone that doesn't live there.
So do they plow their own snow, or
Yes.
does the township? They
Nope.
do that?
Yep. They maintain everything there. Everything. They cut their own grass. They maintain the basins. They maintain the roads. They maintain the trails. Everything.
So until the signage is up, legally, they can't stop us from going through.
Well, I'll let the solicitor touch on that, but it's still private property.
It's still private property, but if they called the police, you would not be able to be charged with trespass without knowing that you weren't allowed to be there. So the signs.
So who's the enforcer here is my question.
I'm assuming
I mean, if
there's
somebody stops us and tells us we can't go through, they're not the police.
Well, no, but they would be able to call the police just as if there was somebody on your lawn.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and your neighborhood is a public street, so anyone can ride their bikes, drive their cars, walk, run, skateboard on Holly Drive.
I understand that, but we use that basically as somewhere where we can ride through that isn't on Otherwise, we're on Horsham Road.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. I don't, but unfortunately, it is private property, including the roads.
I don't, also, do you want me to turn the thing off on your phone?
Yes,
or no?
please.
It might be worth reaching out to someone within the community because it's fascinating. Okay. Oh, I don't disagree either. I'm saying it might be worth inviting someone from the community to the cyclist club as an inroads to potentially have granted access there. I don't know that that would be successful, but that's just one thought going forward, because it sounds like there's already people irritated. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Someone really wants to get in touch
It's an
with you.
alarm.
Oh, it's an
There
alarm.
we go.
Okay. That's just a thought from a personal suggestion.
I understand.
And
Pat, what's the fine on Chief Ida? What's the fine on being on private property?
Trespassing?
Yeah.
The first time would be 300.
Ooh, okay.
that per bicycle. Being serious. Yeah.
Person, wow.
That's unfortunate. And the other one was about Maple Avenue. I saw your original post on Facebook and did send you a message. I don't know if you would have seen that, but
Okay,
I'd be
I'll look for
happy
it.
to talk more about that. I live right on the other side of Maple Avenue,
Okay,
on Cyril Drive. Hello, everyone. And-
yeah, we ride through there too.
Yeah. And that's a issue that is near and dear to my heart in ensuring that the residents, it's a very residential road, are protected during this process. So
Okay,
thank you
very
for coming
much.
out. Yeah.
Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes as presented.
Second. Been moved in second. This is a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. And we are going to the treasurer's report next.
The balance in the general fund as of March 31st, 2026 is $5,198,211.40. For the most part, both the receipts and the expenditures in the general fund reflect normal activity for March. Revenues in the general fund are at 45.33% of budget, and expenditures are at 23.66% of budget. We are currently over budget for snow and ice removal by approximately $17,000. We will continue to monitor these expenses and will have a better handle on them the end of April. I remind you that we still have November and December to go. For a more detailed presentation of our current financial position, I would refer you to your monthly booklet.
And the approval of the list of checks.
I move to approve the list of checks in all funds from March 30th, 2026 to April 8th, 2026 in the amount of $1,349,663.37, and further move to authorize payment of same. I move to ratify the U.S. Bank credit card transactions for the month of February 2026 in the amount of $30,676.04, and further move to authorize payment of same. I move to ratify in the Horsham Township Charitable Fund in the amount of $8,950, and further move to authorize payment of same.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that will conclude our meeting for tonight. So we just have to announce that the next Horsham Council meeting will be held on Wednesday, April 22nd at 6 p.m. The Horsham Farmers Market is Sunday, April 19th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Horsham Library. And Horsham Day is Saturday, June 6th with a rain date of June 7th. Meeting adjourned.